it was a bit surreal to be standing in front of him in moments, you know, in the face-off and stuff. But I asked for that fight from the beginning. I always knew that I wanted to fight him. So when I was there, it was just more of a thing of like, okay, yeah, I'm finally here. Not so much like I'm here in front of this guy. It was more just like, no, this is what I wanted, and the moment, you know, this is the moment that I've always imagined. So, yeah, I think he is a big guy. He is strong. He is everything, you know. But it didn't really mix me up too much. I was happy and prepared.
When you're in the octagon waiting and you hear his music coming over, that's been videos made of it over and over again, what are the thoughts and feelings going through you when you hear his walkout music? You know it's almost go time.
I remember that night, and so in the locker room, I was very relaxed to the point to where I asked my coach, like, I'm very relaxed, like, is that okay? And he's like, yeah, it's perfect. So when I was in the cage and he was walking out, the only thing I can really remember is just being happy. Even the moment when I got finished in the 4th round, like, I just felt so happy throughout that whole fight. It felt like I was where I belonged. Like, I felt like I belonged there. So it was really like living in a dream, and there was nothing but just like happiness and excitement in those moments.
And you mentioned about how your stock rose after that fight, and you gained a lot of admiration, a lot of respect from new fans as well. Has that changed the way that you look at yourself?
Yeah, I think that my perception of myself is a little bit different. I think that it's fine. I'm at a point now where I feel like the work that I've put in, and now people like really appreciate it, and I see it on a daily basis, whether I'm in Leeds or Finland or whatever. Like, people are recognizing me now, and they're appreciative of, you know, especially the last fight, but just what I do. And so it's nice to be appreciated for this type of work, because we do put in a lot of hours and time and dedication, you know, to entertaining. And so to know that it's well received, it feels really good.
And you're a fighter who's been very self-reflective throughout their career. You've spoken about your own ups and downs and things like that. When you're coming off a fight which you gained so much respect on, but you ultimately lost, does that give you a real contrast of emotions?
Very big contrast, yeah. I think that the time between now and that fight, yeah, there's been a huge contrast of emotions. But it's been more good than bad, you know? I think that the reflection point, like I said earlier, I'm focused on getting better now, because I want to continue to win. I want to continue to put on exciting fights, but I want to continue to, you know, on the path of becoming a champion. That's still something that I want to be, and I'm going to work towards being. So, but then again, it's also really nice to, although I'm not the champion, I still got this level of respect and recognition that a champion would have. So, you know, it's a weird position to be in, but it's nice, and I still got some work to do. Yeah.
And on that self-reflection point, then, how do you identify what you could have done better, and how are you actively trying to improve now?
Well, I'd say specifically in the fight against Alex, I knew that he was a dangerous fighter. And so there was a healthy level of caution in that fight. And I think that moving forward, I think it'll be good to have caution, but I just see myself really being able to let loose moving forward. I don't want to. I gave it all, you know. I really did. I went all the way to the end, but I still think that there's more for me to give. And I think that as far as like my skill and intelligence goes, there's some room there. And so I just plan to, you know, get knowledge from guys like Liam, guys like Christian Knowles, other jiu-jitsu practitioners, and really just get more knowledge and apply it to, to my daily training, so that so that there's no surprises.
That tells me that you were almost limiting yourself before, restricting yourself from going that, fulfilling your own potential. How were you doing that?
I'm not really sure. I think that it was more of like I didn't know until now that I needed to, really learn more. Obviously, no matter what, we've got to continue to grow. We've got to continue to learn. But I think this fight really put it into perspective. It really helped me to see the gap of like where I want to be versus where I am. It really just kind of woke me up to seeing like, okay, I got to bring in some more coaches and some more training partners and things to really help me to break through the next level.
And looking at the fight itself, again, I really want to be speaking to people who aren't in any kind of fight, who find it so hard to imagine. How sentient are you in the moments? Are you aware of everything going on, the crowd, the fighter in front of you, and how much do you actually remember of it?
I remember it all. Yeah, I remember being so present in that fight. I remember when he threw the head kick and I ducked under and hit him and he dropped, and I heard the crowd, and the crowd was chanting. I remember, I think it was in the second round at the end, I threw a head kick and it landed, and I went to my corners and I was like, I head kicked him, and he's like, yeah, do it again, I was so aware. It was definitely one of my favorite fights because, I was present the whole time, wasn't afraid, and I was just there to really showcase my skills, because I really wanted to fight Alex and I wanted to become the champion, and so I made sure that I was aware of everything happening.
What were your main takeaways from that fight?
The biggest takeaway from now and the rest of my fighting career, I'm gonna kick more. I was so mad that I didn't throw as many kicks as I wanted to. I mean, and even watching it over again and hearing Joe Rogan say like, oh, Khalil usually kicks more, and I was like, fuck, ah. And I know the kicks that I did throw did some damage, but I think because of his size, I felt like I had to have both feet planted and throw some more. I didn't want to be off balance in any of my attacks. So, the main takeaway is kick more, and then the rest is just train more. Yeah, kick more and train more. Like, I thought I was training a lot, but now moving forward, I'm gonna train even more than I have in the past, in hopes of that being the solution to never losing again.
And the light heavyweight division, as it stands, you're only really one more win away from another title shot. Do you have a real solid career path in your mind, or are you more just going with what appears in front of you?
I'd say as far as my career path goes, I'm just solely focused on becoming a champion. And so whatever fights are going to get me to that point are the ones that I'm interested in. I'd say for at least the next year or 2 years, if that's how long it takes. But I'm just really focused on the championship. And then everything else after that, once I get that, then I think the rest is just to make sure that the fans are entertained.
For people currently out there who are dealing with some kind of self-doubt, what advice would you have for them?
Well, I think self-doubt is something that we can never get rid of. I think no matter what, as human beings, we're always going to have a sense of doubt, especially when there are things that we want to do that maybe haven't been done before or are not done a lot. So the doubt's always there. And I think the way that I handle self-doubt is just head on, by doing things, just doing it, like regardless, not necessarily fearing the outcome, and not like having too much expectation of the outcome. But the only way to get where you want to be in any area in life is to really just do it. It's like experience. We're gonna fail maybe 10 times before we actually get it right. Whether it's, parenting or, schooling or MMA or fighting, the doubt's always going to be there. But I think that the main thing and the main solution is just to keep going, keep trying, until you're, where you want to be. I mess up all the time, but it doesn't stop me from giving it another go. So I'd say, deal with the doubt by just going for it.
I guess in relation to that, what would your philosophy be on taking risks?
Ooh. Actually, I love taking risks. I do. I think that it provides for a lot of excitement in life. It's definitely a different type of approach to life. It is risky, but I think that I like an exciting life. I like the unknown. I like to take chances, and maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. I'd say that's more like my style. I think some people are different. Some people like the safe route, and it's like, whether it's like investments or whatever, it's like, no, I'd like to see, a safe increase. But like, I don't know. I like risk. I like excitement. So.
And with all that said then, when you do eventually hang up the gloves, how do you want to be remembered both as a fighter and a person?
As a fighter, I want to be remembered as exciting. I want to be remembered as exciting. I want to be remembered as a fighter that always fought with heart. Yeah, like, I want there to always be like the stories of my fights to be like, man, that guy was like the true warrior, and I always want my fighting style, and when I step in the cage, I'd like it to be like respectful, and really like, paying respect to a lot of the legends and the teachers and stuff that I've learned from, and honorable. And as a person, I think I just want to be remembered as a good person. I do my best to just try to treat people well, treat people how I would like to be treated, and stay true to that. I think that there's really no difference in me or someone else except I step in the cage and fight. Like, that's the only thing. But we're all human at the end of the day. And just because I fight, it doesn't necessarily make me much different or like a better person. So I think a good person overall, and then as a fighter, just, exciting and honorable.